Aloha and shalom. My
Okay.
name is Jürgen Steinmetz, and I'm joining you from Honolulu, Hawaii. Today we'll be talking about outbound travel from Israel. And maybe we can also talk a little bit about Israel and this COVID situation, everything else, because we got the expert with us, Mr. Kalmann. He's joining us from Tel Aviv. And thank you again for attending this session for World Tourism Network. It's part of our month-long opening. And if you wanted to see about other sessions scheduled or you have an interesting topic you wanted to contribute, simply go to wtn.travel and you can click on the expo session or just go directly to wtn.travel/expo. I just wanted to also give you a heads up on the 10th of December. It's our keynote event, and so we have several ministers of tourism, we have former candidates of the UNWTO, and we have the current candidate, His Excellency Mai from Bahrain, joining us, and she's competing against Zurab for the title of the Secretary General for UNWTO. And she, in this panel, we're exploring the future of tourism and the future of UNWTO. We're all excited about this. Our official launch session, and it doesn't have any panels in this form, but it will um, talk about our various chapters we'll be announcing about our think tanks and other initiatives. That's going to be on the 9th of December. So if you simply go to our website, register like you did on this one, and you'll be part of it. We have a very small participation at this event. Doesn't mean it's not interesting, but this is just a live presentation. So I welcome the six of us that made it to live on this Zoom event. And most of our spectators are seeing us actually on eTurbo News, on live stream, on our various podcast sessions, YouTube Live, and we get a lot of pickup also with Apple and Spotify. So it's all over the place, and we'll be repeating all these sessions over the month. So you will see this again a few times if you read eTurbo News or hit any of our websites, read any of our articles. But without further ado, and I'm sorry for the delay. We had some technical issues here, but now we got Dov. We're very happy to have you. Shalom, Dov.
Shalom, good morning from Tel Aviv. Sorry for the delay again. I mean, with all our technological expertise, sometimes things happen, and so we had a few minutes of delay. I'm tremendously glad and privileged to present to you, the story of Israel during COVID. Like any other country, we suffer a lot. We were among the first countries to close our borders. We were among the first countries to close the country at the first lockdown. We were the first country in the world with the second lockdown. We are now a bit out of that period, but then voices are over there warning us for a third one. In the meantime, we are in a period of in between. Hopefully, very soon we will see the ultimate solution of this drama, and we going to be in a post-COVID period. Hopefully, as from April onwards. I mean, globally wise. What I would like to do is give a little bit of perspective of what the Israeli market is all about, the Israeli outbound market is all about, why it should and could be of major interest to global tourism related brands, be it NTOs, be it hoteliers, be it DMCs, etc., airlines, regarding our market, why our small but very boosting market is of interest to other players. The second reason for this presentation actually is to give a little bit of light in in this period of darkness and show where we, where we, all of us, whether you are related to tourism creation or not, where all of us are heading to. And I think Israel has a wonderful story to share. So let's first start with your permission. Let's first start with giving a bit of. Sorry, I just want to see all of you, and I don't see you. Hopefully, yes, here you are. Okay. So first of all, a little bit of background about the Israeli market. I can't ask you right now, but maybe I can. Maybe we can make this. We have a small audience, so maybe we can just throw a question to this wonderful audience. How many Israelis do we have? What is the population of Israel? Do we have Dimitri, Robert, Emmanuel, Stefan, Jürgen? What is the number of Israelis do you think we have in this country? Dimitri,
you have
yes?
to unmute yourself.
I'm so sorry. Are you talking about the Israelis from Israel or all around the world?
Oh, Dimitri, I love that question. I mean, we have two actually definitions.
Yes.
If you talk to me, I mean, I'm a Jew living in Israel, and I'm part of the Jewish people. So let's maybe ask the first question then. What is the amount of Jews, the total amount of the Jewish people in the world? I mean, what is your answer?
I will answer like this. I think that in Israel it's around 9-10 million people. Maybe some of them are not Jewish. Okay, if you would say like 9 million people of Jews.
Dimitri, I stopped you for a moment. I want to hear Robert. I want to hear Jürgen. I want to hear Stefano as well. Okay, I keep that answer. Yes, Robert.
I think it's about 7 million Jews living in Israel. Something between 7-9 million.
Okay.
But I don't have the.
Stefan,
are
you there?
15 million around the world.
Okay, wonderful. Emmanuel, are you there? Well, Jürgen, I won't ask. I won't ask.
About 9 million, a little bit less than 9 million.
Guys, you have all won. You are all deserve the global prize, the global, the Nobel Prize. I mean, you are the first audience ever that I asked this question, that you are so close to the truth. I was just, last week in Dubai, and I asked the same question to all my various partners who I met over there. And I asked the first question, I mean, what is the Jewish population? And we got answers like half a billion. We got questions of 350,000 and all that. Well, in total, there are 14.6 million Jews in the world, out of whom 7 million are living in Israel. So another 7, more or less, are in the United States and in Europe. And in Israel, we have 9 million citizens. That's why I stopped you, Dimitri, because your answer was so completely true. And also, Robert, wow, amazing. I mean, we have 9 million Israelis, out of whom 7 more or less are Jews. So 20% more or less are non-Jews. 21% belong to the Arab community, and Arabs that are Christian as well as Muslims. Now, out of that 9 million, we had in 2019, we had 8.1 million trips made by 4.7 million Israelis. So if you look at that figure and you see that amazing number of per capita travel, that already gives you a kind of idea why Israelis, why traveling is part of our DNA. I mean, we are kind of born with a suitcase. It's, a history of 2,000 years of us Jews wandering around the world, with Moses maybe as the first tour guide in the world. And that this is part of us. Traveling is part of us. During the last 7 years, traffic from Israel outbound grew by 250%, total outbound, which is partly due to the fact that travel has become much more democratic, if I can say so. I mean, prices have gone down due to the open air policy by Israel. So Israelis travel in big numbers. Now, what has happened during, one more important thing that I would like to say about the Israelis. First of all, you will meet them everywhere. It's not that Israelis travel to a specific destination, 1, 2, 3. First of all, the number one long-haul outbound destination is the United States, for obvious reasons. It's of course also because of the fact that half of our people, more or less, are living in the United States. But it's also business-wise. We are an ally, 51 state, the number 51 state of the United States, maybe. But it's even, then the second destination is Thailand. Thailand, which is a country we represent. By the way, I didn't maybe properly present myself. The company that I'm running is called Terra Nova Tourism Marketing and Consultancy. And we represent NTOs, National Tourism Organizations in Israel, global organizations that have an interest in the Israeli outbound market, as well as hotel chains and airlines. We are their voice on the Israeli market. We tell their story. So one of our major clients actually is the Tourism Authority of Thailand. We represent them for the last 20 years. And Thailand is number 2 outbound. 200,000 Israelis, almost 200,000 Israelis traveled to Thailand last year, with almost 70% being repeaters and the overall majority staying for 17 days, long stays. Okay, that is a general idea about the Israeli market. Short haul flights is mainly the Mediterranean and of course Europe, London, Paris, those kind of destinations. Okay. We're talking now a little bit of Corona. We go into the Corona. Of course, the Corona, like I said before, hit us as it hit everyone, and we were stuck. Now, you have to understand Israel. Israel is not a kind of country like any European country where if you can't fly, okay, you take a car and you travel around. We can't. We are kind of in an island in this region. The borders are closed. You can't take a car. You can't take a train. You have to fly. Now, from the very first moment of the crisis, we said, listen, the Israelis will be the first to rebound. We will be the first to get on a plane again. And a lot of people said, but you must be afraid. I mean, flying it's frightening, isn't it? And we said, yes, it is, but we have a bigger urge. We have to get some fresh air. And so flying is part of our nature. And we had an opportunity to check whether we were right or talking nonsense. So what happened? Just a couple of weeks ago, another good client of us, Air Seychelles, I think one of your should be unmuted. Okay, that's it. No voices at the background. Seychelles decided just 3 weeks ago to add Israel to their green list. Now that was actually the first destination after Greece that was open during the summer and had tens and hundreds of thousands of Israelis flocking in Greece, but that was closed since Greece is closed now. It's a red country. So Seychelles opened, and within days, all flights to Seychelles by Air Seychelles that restarted their flights were fully booked, up to 5 weekly flights. Then Arkia, another Israeli airline, added 3 weekly flights. Then El Al joined with another 3 weekly flights. So we have now 20 flights to Seychelles, and they are all full. Now Seychelles is a small island, and it's not a cheap place. It's a wonderful place, but it's not cheap. So now Israelis are the #1 population, tourism population in Seychelles, which is an amazing story. Then came a bigger story, the United Arab Emirates. You have all heard about the Abraham Accords and this wonderful agreement between countries that were in touch with each other, but not for everyone. So suddenly the Dubai opened up, and this created what we call a Dubai fever. Guys, you can't believe this. You can't believe in the middle of Corona, we have now 50,000 Israelis in the month of December going to Dubai.
Wow.
With over 100 flights a week. You can't believe this. This is more flights to Dubai than to any other destination that we flew to before Corona. So Israelis use this opportunity. Here is the second green place we can go to. Forget about Corona, forget about the fever, forget about everything. We travel. And we show the world that, fear is something you have to take seriously into consideration, but it's something more important. And that is life in general. And travel, exploring the world is part of our wellness, of our being. And I think that what happened here is an amazing story that I'm very glad, I'm very grateful to Jürgen of allowing me to share this story. I think it goes beyond, just the Israeli story. I do believe that what the major essence of Corona has been for the world has been the danger of ending the global exploration that all of us have been part of, and getting into a kind of xenophobic fear of leaving our place. And that is dangerous for the peace of the world, that is dangerous for getting us together. And I believe that what we all should be trying to search is that point of hope, that point of light that will enable us to once again be one nation, one mankind. And this is the story I wanted to share with you. On practical terms, what does it mean? It means that for our market, taking into consideration that by January, February, we will see serious figures of Israelis that have gone through will be immune for COVID. They will then immediately travel all around. By the way, from the economic perspective, we have seen that Israel has gone through a major crisis like anyone, but we are the second in the world from the OECD with the best figures for quarter 3. So we are getting out of this, and we expect an increase of the GDP by 5% by next year already, which is once again higher than most other countries. So we will be ready. The question is whether you and all the future listeners to this presentation will be ready to pick up this opportunity and join us in sharing the story of your destination or your tourism product on our market. We are setting up a series of digital conferences where we are actually enabling tourism brands from around the world to meet Israeli decision makers from the travel trade, as well as opinion makers on a one-to-one basis. This will happen during the month of December and January. Also in this, we of course invite, and we are talking with TLN in order to join forces also in this perspective. I think that concludes more or less my presentation. Please feel free, any question or any comment, any thought, more than delighted. Jürgen, the microphone is yours again.
No, I mean, Dov, that was a fascinating story. And I didn't know about all these flights to the United Arab Emirates all of a sudden. I thought there's one flight a day, so that's not true. There
No,
must be
no, no.
several
We,
flights a
we,
day.
we now, you know, I was on the first flight by Fly Dubai from Dubai to Tel Aviv.
Right.
At that time, we had 2 flights a day. They already increased to 3 flights a day. Now, in addition, we have 3 Israeli airlines now flying. They all start more or less this week because the visa issue was not clarified for bureaucratic reasons, but it's now finalized. So now Israelis can travel freely. So we have now 3 airlines flying daily. El Al now even flying twice daily, and we have Fly Dubai. And from January onwards, the Emirates and Etihad will join as well. So we will have 120 weekly flights in January, which is, completely amazing. It's not only amazing for the Emirates as well, but it actually changes completely our the geographic position of Israel, first of all vis-a-vis Asia. I mean, we are now allowed to fly over Saudi airspace, which most of you will not you know comprehend what difference that makes. Just imagine if you have to fly from Tel Aviv to, let's say, Bangkok, and you cannot fly over Saudi airspace. You have to go all the way almost to Kenya and then fly over India. So which is 11-hour flights. Now via Dubai, that is decreased to less than 8 hours. So suddenly the whole Asian market opens up for us. That is one part of it, and then of course it's the Emirates itself, where we are talking about really a new partnership which is far beyond tourism. It's something that the grandchildren of Abraham are meeting. And I was there, and I was moved to tears. I have to admit, when I met the people who are basically our nephews.
Mhm.
And we are all, we all belong to the same family, and we have been stuck in this endless war of words, and not only words. And, and now suddenly we meet each other, and we think together, and we grow together. It's an amazing story. It's an amazing story in this time of darkness, of the COVID. Suddenly here, it's not a small point of light. It's a message to the world. I mean, what mankind can do if we just get out of the box and get out of our fears, our historical fears. If we get, understand that together we are stronger than only as ourselves. That is the amazing part of the story.
You have a very valid point. I'm curious, is this traffic both ways? Are people from UAE also flocking into Israel?
Wow. When I visit over there, I was at the beginning, honestly, I was a little, how will they react? I mean, yes, there is an agreement between the governments, but, on a personal level, on the street level, the sellers on the shop, I mean, how will they react when they meet their first Israeli? And I was astonished. I was astonished by the the welcome, the embrace I got from the people over there, and how many of them told them, listen, it is our number one place we want to go to. It's, of course, for the Muslims, it's Jerusalem, their holy site of the temple. But it's not only that; it's the young people, the affluent people, the millennials who want to go to Tel Aviv and enjoy the nightlife that Tel Aviv in, let's say, pre-COVID days offered to all of them. It is high on their list. As for now, while we're speaking, for their part, the visa issue has not yet been solved. Israel is still officially closed for all international tourism. I mean, you can come in, but you still have to go through quarantine and all that. So unless that it will change, and the prime minister has mentioned that there will be an exemption made for our nephews. So I don't know how long that will take, whether that will be a week or two, but it will happen soon. And I can't wait to see the Arab dress walking around in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and see them. It will certainly be one of our major source markets for the Israeli inbound industry.
So I guess times are changing.
Yes.
That's amazing. No, this was a really quite impressive feedback from a very hot story right now in the world. And you're right in the center of it. And that besides the story, it opens up business opportunities left and right, I would think, in the tourism world. And really, that's what we need, especially post-COVID. So luckily, it looks like our Israel and also the UAE has expanded in looking at or implementing these markets, what I think would be good for both sides in developing their tourism industry past COVID as well. And I'm wondering if anyone else has any feedback or questions to Dov.
Yeah, I would like to make a comment. I just came back from Istanbul. I spent there a few weeks. So I've been so surprised how many Israelis I met in Turkey.
Really?
A lot. Well, I also went there not only for tourism, but also for medical tourism, you know. So I met ladies, Russian Israelis, you know, Russian-speaking Israelis. And they usually go for that reasons to Ukraine. But because of the COVID, you know, Ukraine is closed for Israel, as well like Israel for Ukraine. So they came for Turkey, and they've been so amazed of Turkey and lifestyle and everything, and for sure prices for medical things, you know. So I think it's really big destination, you know, like a lot of Israelis go to Turkey as well, even if the relations sometimes, you know, tough and sometimes problem, but I think it's still okay. People go. That's what I noticed about Israelis in the world. A lot of in Turkey. Yeah.
Thanks, Dimitri, my good friend, for sharing that comment. I mean, also this actually it is a also this is a quite a unique story. I mean, take Turkish Airlines.
Yes.
Turkish Airlines, you know, is an airline that is flying to, you know, they say to the most.
Tel Aviv with Turkish Airlines. Yes.
Now you flew?
No, few years.
No, you didn't. Yes, of course, since really Turkish Airlines is one of those airlines that really connect Israel to all corners of the world, with more destinations than any other airline. And you know that Tel Aviv, notwithstanding the political issues that we have between us, is the #1 destination worldwide, is Tel Aviv, with 11 daily flights. You know, that was pre-COVID.
I didn't know
11 daily flights. It's a kind of hub. Now, Israelis, and that is not for you know, tourists from Turkey. That's only for Israelis. Israelis use that airline, not only that airline, but especially that airline, to fly all around the world. And it's the second biggest airline after El Al, flying from Ben Gurion Airport. So it shows once again that travel is, especially from this place, is stronger than any political issue.
True.
And it's stronger than, even if you like or dislike the political leadership, you travel. And the fact that you, Dimitri, met so many Israelis in Istanbul is another proof of the strength of, you know, the hope of tourism where we go to, that whatever happens, whatever the situation is, we are stronger than this damn virus. Thanks for that comment.
Thank you so much.
And Dov, also, I think Etihad and Emirates are probably looking forward to an enormous opportunity of increased business through this. Also, as you rightfully mentioned, travel to Asia, but now became a lot shorter from Israel, possibly also Australia and also Africa.
Correct, very much.
One or two participants here we have Robert in Accra joining
No,
us. And I'm wondering what is the tourism traffic? Is there tourism traffic between Israel and Ghana?
no, I'm from Mauritius.
Oh, Mauritius. Okay, but
Mauritius.
okay, no,
No,
but
but I can answer the same question. It's very few traffic from Israel until till now. Although we do not have any visa requirements for Israelis traveling to Mauritius, but I think it's been more because of the connection. We've never had good flight connection. Now, in fact, I had a question for Dove because I now understand from Dove that a lot of the Israelis will be going to our cousins because Seychelles is our cousin,
right.
you know, in the Indian Ocean. I wanted to find out what is it regarding the requirements for Israeli travelers with regards to language and also with food. Is there any specific requirement, or they would travel like anyone else and speak English or any European language? How does it work?
Wow, Robert, thanks so much for that question, and thanks for so much for sharing your thoughts all the way from Mauritius, which is one more destination that we represent on the Israeli market. We represent Beachcomber, the Beachcomber chain of hotels, and we have actually had an enormous influx or traffic from Israel to Mauritius last year starting from November, when Air Seychelles started to fly directly to Tel Aviv. So there was an immediately connecting flight to Mauritius. I was the very happy and privileged person to lead a media delegation to Mauritius, and I fell in love. Robert, I fell in love with your place. It is one of those amazing destinations that I could easily see myself of being there much more than just a week, month, or year. I mean, I love the place. I love the people. I love the views. I love the way of life. I love the music. I love the languages. I love the food. It's an amazing place. Now, I'm convinced that Israelis will very much like to travel to Mauritius as soon as they can. As for now, the major problem is on the Mauritius side, because the Mauritius side still did not open up. Still did not. We are constantly with our finger on the pulse in order to get Mauritius back again. As for now, there are no flights, also connecting flights from Seychelles to Mauritius, so we cannot really push the destination at this moment. But that will change. That is an issue of weeks or months. Now, regarding your question, this is a very often a misconception. If I said before, except your very few experts on this scene, I mean, most of the people have a completely wrong impression about what Israelis are all about or what Jews are all about. You know, as I mentioned before, I'm a Jewish Israeli, but I'm not eating kosher. You know, I'm kosher, according to religious requirements. And like me, that is something like 60% of the population, 65%. We are eating like everyone else, most of the food. We might not touch pork, maybe some don't eat seafood, but that's basically it. That is the overall majority of the Israelis. Well, we have an important segment of the Israelis that do eat kosher and observe Shabbat, Saturday, with all its regulations. But that is a minority that I would say that is of great importance. But the first focus should be, I think, on the majority, the 65%. And for the 65%, you don't need to change your kitchen. You don't need to create, solve the problem of electric keys for Saturday or whatever, all these kind of things. You can continue your life and welcoming the Israeli tourists.
And with regards to language?
Language. Okay, well, in your place, especially, I mean, you speak almost every language on the world. I mean, you speak English, you speak French, you speak, you know, if you're Indian, you can speak the language, you can speak everything. So Israelis, they are fluent in English. Let's say the overall majority. It's a second language. It's not the first language. We speak, our first language is Hebrew or Arabic, but the second language is certainly English, and then a lot of Israelis speak French. So Mauritius is the ideal place.
Good, good, good. Thank you very much. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. More than welcome.
Yeah, because we are both in outbound, and we do have lots of Mauritians also traveling, probably more Mauritians going to Israel because we don't need visa, mainly for religious pilgrimage. It
Yes.
should be around 5,000 to 8,000 in a year. And I think when with flights now, connecting flights to Seychelles, this should increase as well.
Yes, yes, yes. I would also like to use this opportunity. Go also back to Jürgen and his, you know, the African Tourism Board that Jürgen initiated 2 years ago. We are the proud ambassador of the African Tourism Board in Israel, and the reason that I mention this is that I believe that, you know, the ultimate future of tourism worldwide, and certainly for Israel as well, is Africa. I mean, we are closer than any other source market. We are just, 4 hours away from Addis Ababa, for example, with 2 daily flights in pre-COVID times, with connecting flights to all over Africa, actually. And with the flights that I mentioned before to Seychelles and to Mauritius and all over, and many other flights that were planned, direct flights that were planned to be initiated, but then COVID came. I believe that Africa is much more than a safari destination, which it is portrayed as for now. It is the ultimate, what I would call inspirational destination in the world. I mean, the story that you tell, you know, the African story, is much more than, you know, than the wonderful animals. It's a story that connects mankind and should connect mankind much more than it is now. And here I touch another issue. I touch the issue: what is tourism all about, especially in post-COVID? What should tourism be? Should it be a list of to-do and, you know, point, we have seen this monument and this monument and this monument? Or should it be something that is really, that will change us into better human beings, into people that are embracing people who are different, with different colors, different beliefs, different opinions. That is what tourism, in my perspective, is all about. I mean, we have a major value that is very often put in the background. I believe that COVID put that back in the center. I mean, tourism must be much more than, you know, visiting places. It should be a life-changing experience for both the guests, the tourists, as well as the host. It should be a two-way traffic between the people who enjoy enriching their life and the people who will be able to create a better life for themselves through tourism. And I believe that COVID will take us away from, you know, the bad stories we had before COVID. I mean, the over-tourism issues of, you know, being with millions of people on the same place. We will search for places that are, you know, give us space and give us more, you know, air. And I believe that is Africa is the place for that. So I'm glad that you gave me this opportunity to mention this as well.
Yeah, and Dov, of course, tourism always has been an industry of peace. And now with Zoom, it's helping us quite a bit. I mean, like this forum, we have people from Everyone is from a different country here almost. And we're all together and we're all talking like humans. And I think we all like each other and we have something to say to each other.
Yes, indeed.
I certainly like you, Jürgen. I mean, and Jürgen, and you
It's
made
an
it.
amazing preparation for past COVID. I think Zoom has done a lot to the world and get the world together. And I think when we all start traveling again, we're really, we travel maybe with different feelings and with different expectations and less worry. And I know Emmanuel has been quite, and he's from Ghana, right? Emmanuel, I got this right.
Yes.
I'm wondering,
Yes.
how do you see that? We're talking about, of course, about Israeli outbound travel, but outbound travel in general. How do you see Ghana positioned in past COVID travel? Maybe in regards to Israel, but even maybe also general. I'm just curious. I don't know. Emmanuel, can you hear us?
Okay. I actually wanted to.
I think we're losing you.
Hello, Jürgen.
Now we can hear you again. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you again.
Okay, great. Yes. First of all, let me thank you for and the team for putting this together. In fact, I've learned quite a lot of things about Israel that I didn't know. But my question is, for Ghana, we do a lot of religious travel to or tourism to Israel, but I haven't seen that number coming to Ghana. I would like to ask, what is it that we have to do, and not just in Ghana, but in Africa, that we can see a lot of Israelis coming to Africa, and specifically to Ghana? I'm excited about the fact that you mentioned tourism should be more than just visiting a site or a place. There should be to attract this huge number of Jews that travel around the world, because
We're losing you, but I think we can probably make
I
our.
haven't seen that number coming to Ghana.
Okay, Emmanuel, thank you so much for that
Hello?
remark. Emmanuel, thank you again for that remark. We didn't hear all of it, but I think we got the message, we got the idea. You know, you asked the $1 million question, actually. I mean, what do you need to do in order to create brand awareness in general, and especially on a
Right.
maybe complex market like Israel? I mean, we as in Israel, but I don't believe we are the only one. We suffer from a kind of image, you know, Israelis might be an interesting destination, but it's so complicated. They speak Hebrew and they, you know, they have this strange issue with food. So, you know, let's focus on other markets. And that is what happened for a long time. So we have few destination marketing companies here in Israel. We have even less, you know, representatives of destinations. Now, those who did open the market and did spend time and resources and a bit of money in creating that message, they have received a return on investment that is much higher than any of the big European markets, for example. And this, of course, is also true for Ghana. I mean, if Ghana really wants tourism, there are basically two things you need to do. The first thing is take it seriously. Take it seriously. Take this question seriously. Come to Tel Aviv. Come or meet us on Zoom or whatever. As long as we cannot really travel, but there are enough ways to create that first level even before. Study what should be done and what you have to offer for the Israelis. We, as one of the experts, I'm not saying that we're the only one, but certainly we know our business. We can then translate your unique selling points to the different segments of the Israelis. I will maybe say a little bit about that a bit later, and create a strategy plan That is number one. That is the first. The second thing is think flights. I mean, the number one way to get traffic to any destination is to create a bridge between people. And I think, you know, the examples I gave of Seychelles and United Arab Emirates would not have been mentioned today if there would not have been the opportunity to have so many flights. Ghana is one of those places in a whole region yet that is not yet connected to Tel Aviv. So this is certainly something, if you have tourism from there and we can create tourism from here, you have the justification for flights. That's the whole story. The Israeli Ministry of Tourism is supporting these kind of activities by you know, financial support. So these two issues should be taken seriously. The moment that you are there, we are there. And not only us, you know, the Israeli people will be there very glad to discover new destination, to welcome you in our place. Now, I mentioned before the issue of community, the communities in Israel. This is one last maybe issue that I would like to mention. Another issue that, you know, the wrong impressions. Many people around the world think, you know, Israelis, Jews and Arabs, sometimes fighting between each other, but that's basically Israel. It's not. Jews are we come from all around the world. You know, it's a young nation. We come from all around the world, whereas more or less 50% come from the African North Africa and the Arab world, and 50% more or less are Ashkenazi Jews, like me. I was born in Holland and I come from Europe and I immigrated to Israel when I was 20. So we have Jews from all over the world with different outlooks, different, you know, perspectives on life, different dreams. Then we have, you know, we have the religious, we have the Orthodox, we have the secular people. We have, you know, we have the gay community. Sorry to mention it for maybe some of you, but it's very strong in Israel. It's, you know, it's the strongest LGBT community in the Middle East is here in Israel, with the gay parade of 250,000 people participating from all over the world. So that's another angle of Israel. And then we have the Arabs, Christians, Muslims. We have other minorities. So in order to succeed on this market, you have to understand that it's not enough to take an advertisement that is good for the German public or the French public and translate it into Hebrew, and here we are. Some of them, you know, those destinations, NTOs did it, and they lost money because they didn't understand that in order to reach the Israelis, you need to use experts who know to reach the various segments of society and speak the languages that those communities need. That's what we call community marketing, which is especially strong or of importance in this market. So I gave you a lot of things to think about, and maybe far too much for just a short presentation like this, but once again, I'm tremendously privileged to have had this opportunity, Jürgen, to share a little bit of my thoughts.
No, it was very good. And I also wanted to point out, I don't know if Stephen has any more to add to it, but I wanted to thank Stephen. He's been...
I do, actually.
I mean, he's been on every event we had, and we had a lot of them, and I really appreciate it. And he's actually calling from New York, I found out. And it's now,
yes.
What time is it in New York now? 3 in the
It's
morning?
now almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. 3 o'clock in the morning. Wow.
But this has been really fantastic. I mean, all that I've been on, the webinars, and Dov, I am also a travel advisor. And over the years, prior to COVID, we've had quite a lot of groups going over to Israel to visit the Holy Land, you know, from the different churches around. And I think if there's one positive thing about COVID, is that people, when it's all over with, people will want to go even more than before. Because when the thing is with mankind, when you stop someone from doing something, they want to do it even more.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
I think that exactly will happen, and tourism will boost even more around the world, and especially in Israel. Like I said, with the churches going over to visit the Holy Land and over the pilgrimages. And we all look forward to that. And my clients, they just can't wait. They keep, asking me every day, when are the cruises going to start? When are these countries going to be reopened? And it's something to look forward to. It really is.
Exciting, Stefan. I thank you for being awake at 3 o'clock in the morning and listening to my blah blah. I would like to, add one single sentence to what you said. I mean, yes, we all hope for, getting back to tourism. I just hope that it will be just a little bit more responsible tourism, a bit more sustainable tourism, a bit more, bit more bringing us together instead of just traveling for the sake of traveling.
I quite agree. And, and as you said earlier about meeting people from all around the world, getting to know each other, forgetting about the differences and looking and understanding the similarities, because we may be from different countries, we may be from different backgrounds and cultures, but we all are one. We really are. I've got a friend who is from Israel. Her last name is Tal, and we're very good friends. She's an older lady, but we're very good friends. She has taught me Yiddish,
Really?
I sing in Yiddish, but it's fantastic, meeting people from around the world, and it's really a positive experience.
Well, thanks. Those are wonderful words. I think, Jürgen, I leave it up to you. I mean, if you want to conclude with these wonderful words.
Add anything to it, do it now or forever hold your peace until we delve again. But I have to say it again, thank you so much, Dom, for participating. You've been on our events quite a bit. I know you have
my pleasure.
Also in a lot of initiatives like the African Tourism Board, and you're really a doer, and that's what we need in this industry. Thank you for that. And I wanted to remind everyone else, those that are with us on this call, but also those that are listening to us or watching us from everywhere, go to www.wtn.travel, which stands for World Tourism Network. And you see the big event banner, just click on it or go to wtn.travel/expo, that's what it is, I'm sorry. And you'll see all the events coming up. There's a lot more, and we hope to see you there. If not, if you read eTurbo News or you watch live stream or you listen to any of our podcasts, all of these sessions will be there. And then at the end, everything will be also archived in both livestream.travel and worldtourismevents.com. Thank you everyone for participating, and I hope you have a nice day or evening or night. Get some sleep, Stephen, and Dov, you have a good day. I hope you can get your coffee now, and we see you next time.
Thank you.
Shalom.
Thank you, all of you.
Shalom.
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 Thank you.